Welcome back everyone to our ongoing series on ancient African civilizations. Today we turn back the sands of time to around 3100 BCE when the dawn of pharaohs began. This remarkable era was ushered in with the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt, a monumental task credited to Nama or Menes, depending on the historian you ask. This momentous unification marked the onset of the first dynasty, forging the path to an era that would forever be remembered as the Pharaonic era. So, when did the pharaohs reach their peak? Well, the pinnacle of power came during what we now call the New Kingdom period, around 1550 to 1070 BCE. This was a time of prosperity and expansion, with pharaohs like Amenhotep III, the boy king Tutankhamun, and the mighty Ramesses II taking center stage. During this golden age, Egypt was a force to be reckoned with. The pharaohs didn't just rule, they built. They constructed monumental structures that have stood the test of time, leaving an indelible mark on the landscape of Egypt and, indeed, the world. The grandeur of this period is perhaps best exemplified by the awe-inspiring temple complexes at Luxor and Karnak. These architectural marvels were built to honor the gods and to demonstrate the might and wealth of the pharaohs. And so it was a golden age where monumental structures were built, including the temple complexes at Luxor and Karnak. Now, what about the religious and cultural influence of the pharaohs? Well, the pharaohs were not just political rulers, they were also spiritual leaders. They were believed to be divine, a bridge between the realms of humans and gods. This belief endowed them with immense religious authority and reverence. They were the stewards of the gods on earth, responsible for maintaining order or ma'at, and appeasing the deities through rituals and temple construction. This religious influence significantly shaped Egyptian culture. The pharaohs commissioned grand temples and monuments, which became the canvas for Egypt's rich artistic tradition. Hieroglyphs, sculpture, and architecture flourished under their patronage, each piece a testament to their devotion to the gods or a display of their own divine status. Religion and culture were intertwined under the pharaohs, driving the evolution of an enduring civilization that still captivates us today. This period saw the flourishing of art, culture, and religious practices, solidifying Egypt's place in history. Of course, it wasn't all peace and prosperity, was it? As the pharaohs sought to extend their sphere of influence beyond the fertile banks of the Nile, they embarked on numerous military campaigns. Pharaohs like Thutmose III, often dubbed the Egyptian Napoleon, spearheaded these conquests, expanding Egypt's territories far into Nubia and the Levant. These military feats not only showcased the might of the pharaohs but also brought wealth and exotic goods into Egypt, bolstering its economy. However, such expansion was not without its drawbacks. These wars drained Egypt's resources and resulted in the loss of countless lives. Thus, the very same military campaigns that elevated Egypt's status also planted the seeds of its eventual decline. But these conquests came at a cost, both in terms of resources and human lives. So, what led to the downfall of this grand civilization? After the New Kingdom, the sun began to set on the era of the pharaohs. Egypt found itself under the shadow of invasions from powerful foreign forces. But the threats were not just external. Internal conflicts brewed, stirring the pot of unrest. The once all-powerful pharaohs, who were considered gods, saw their authority wane. They became increasingly detached from their subjects, leading to a weakening of the central power. Economic struggles and administrative difficulties further exacerbated the situation. This was the beginning of the end, the onset of a decline that would ultimately see the pharaohs lose their throne. The grand civilization that once led the world started to crumble. Who was the last of these iconic rulers, you may ask? As the final act of this grand saga unfolds, we find ourselves in the rule of Cleopatra VII. Cleopatra was not just a queen, but a pharaoh in her own right, and the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. A woman of intelligence and charisma, she sought to defend Egypt from the expanding Roman Empire. However, history had a different plan. Upon her defeat at the hands of Octavian, the future first Roman emperor, Egypt was absorbed into the Roman Empire. Her death marked not just the end of her rule, but the end of the Pharaonic era itself. And so, the curtain fell on the age of the pharaohs. The grandeur, the power, the mystique. It all came to an end. Yet despite the fall, the fascination with the pharaohs, their culture, and their achievements has never died. Cleopatra's reign signified the end of an era, yet the fascination with the pharaohs has never died.